Breaking up with Darren was supposed to be liberating. I told myself I'd finally be free, that I could breathe again without his constant jealousy and paranoia. But freedom doesn't mean safety, and I learned that the hard way. I moved across town, got a new phone number, blocked him on every social media platform, and even changed my email addresses. For a few days, it felt like relief, a bubble of normalcy. But then the first warning came. A new email from an address I didn't recognize. The subject line read simply, "I know where you are." My hands shook as I opened it, only to see a photo of me in my kitchen, taken through the window. My stomach dropped, and my heart raced. I checked every corner of my apartment. The street was empty. My first thought was coincidence, maybe some prank. But deep down, I knew it wasn't. The messages began soon after. At odd hours, often after I thought I was alone, my phone would buzz with texts from blocked numbers or unknown emails. "You look so beautiful in your blue sweater today. I saw you leave work. Why are you smiling at him?" He somehow knew everything. My schedule, what I wore, even the route I took to work. I started changing my patterns, taking different streets, avoiding familiar stores. But nothing helped. Photos would appear on my phone, taken while I was at the grocery store or sitting in my car. He was always watching, always knowing. One night, I woke to the sound of faint breathing outside my bedroom door. I froze. The soft, deliberate rhythm was unmistakable. I could hear the subtle scrape of shoes against the carpet, the gentle brushing of his fingers along the doorframe. I reached for my phone to call the police, but hesitated, terrified that even that sound might trigger him to act. Then the doorknob rattled slowly, deliberately, testing my lock. The fear clawed through me, cold and suffocating. I stayed frozen until the sound receded, but I knew it wasn't gone. He hadn't left. Over the next few days, I noticed more subtle signs, faint scratches on the doorframe, small items slightly moved, my window shades ever so slightly tilted. It became impossible to sleep. I installed cameras, changed the locks multiple times, and even asked friends to stay over. Yet he found a way to breach all of it. Photos, notes, messages, all appeared in places I knew no one could have left them. One night, I found a folded piece of paper on my pillow, written in his handwriting. "I've been inside, watching, waiting." That was the moment I realized the truth. I couldn't escape. No matter how far I ran or how carefully I hid, Darren had made it his mission to know my every move, and the terror of that knowledge would never leave me. I thought breaking up with Melanie would be simple. I thought she'd accept it, move on, and I'd finally get my life back. I was wrong. It started subtly, small and easily dismissible. I noticed a familiar car parked across the street from my office late one night. I brushed it off as coincidence. But the same car appeared the next night, and the night after that. Then the messages came, from numbers I had blocked, email accounts I had never used. "Why didn't you call me? I saw you today, smiling at someone else. I'm watching you." My stomach turned every time my phone buzzed, each message more precise than the last, as though she had been following me, memorizing my every step. I changed my number. I tried to avoid familiar streets. I even started staying with friends, moving my schedule around, taking long detours to avoid her. But nothing worked. Small, subtle things began happening. A Starbucks cup left on my doorstep, footprints in the snow that led nowhere, receipts from stores I hadn't visited. And one night, when I was walking home, I caught her reflection in a store window across the street. She wasn't supposed to be there, but her eyes were locked on me, and she smiled. That smile, the one I used to love, now terrified me. Then came the most terrifying moment. I woke to my front door opening slowly. I grabbed a kitchen knife, my heart pounding, and froze. I could hear the soft, familiar hum of her voice, melodic yet wrong, as it echoed through the apartment. She wasn't inside yet, but I knew she was waiting for the perfect moment. I backed away, called 911, and waited in the shadows. By the time the police arrived, she was gone. All they found was an envelope on my mat. Inside, a photograph of me sleeping on my couch, taken from the living room window. I moved across the state, changed apartments, and even started therapy to handle the panic attacks. But the fear never truly left. Every time I hear a car outside my window, every time someone walks behind me on the street, I flinch. Melanie didn't just want to be a part of my life. She wanted to control it, to be there at every moment, to erase the line between safe and unsafe. And no matter how far I go, a part of me knows she's still out there, still watching, and waiting for the next chance. After breaking up with Josh, I thought moving into a new apartment would finally give me peace. I changed the locks, installed a security system, and even got a dog for company. At first, it worked. I felt safe, free. But then the knocks started. Soft, polite, at random hours. I assumed it was neighbors. But every time I went to check, the hallway was empty, and the knocks stopped as soon as I opened the door. Then came the small gifts. Notes slipped under the door, sometimes with a few words, sometimes with photographs. Some showed me sleeping, others captured me brushing my teeth, standing at the sink, unaware someone had been inside my apartment, watching. I tried to tell myself I was imagining it. Maybe I was paranoid, but the feeling never went away. The small noises, the faint scraping of shoes on the floor, the whisper of fabric brushing against furniture, became constant. One night, I woke to my bedroom door opening slowly. My dog growled, and I realized with horror that my phone was missing from the nightstand. I grabbed a flashlight and saw a shadow moving across the hallway, silent and deliberate. I crouched behind my bed, dialed 911, and waited until the police arrived. By the time they entered, the intruder had vanished. The only evidence was a note left on my pillow. "I'll be back when you least expect me." I moved again, farther than I ever had before. I sleep with lights on, check locks obsessively, and jump at every noise. I don't know if Josh ever stopped watching me, or if he simply waited, patient, planning, ready to return. Every stranger in the hallway makes my heart race. Every unexpected knock makes my palms sweat. And every time I glance at my windows, I imagine him standing there, smiling, knowing he still has power over me. Some people don't just break up. Some people plan, stalk, and wait. And sometimes, no matter how far you run, they never truly disappear. Breaking up with someone should bring relief, closure, and peace. But sometimes, it doesn't. Sometimes, it only reveals the truth you never wanted to see. That some people don't just let go. They follow. They watch. They wait. Every text you ignore, every lock you change, every street you take to feel safe. None of it matters. They already know, already see, already plan. You tell yourself it's over, that they've disappeared. But then you hear a knock when no one should be there. A shadow in your hallway. A soft whisper outside your bedroom door. And that's when it hits you. The danger isn't someone new. It's someone who knows you, someone who knows your routines, your habits, your fears, someone who refuses to let go. So if you think you're truly safe after a breakup, think again. Because some people don't just leave. They linger, they wait, and sometimes they're closer than you ever imagined, watching, counting, and ready to strike the moment you least expect it.